What's going on, guys? It's Ryan Benecki from allthingsplaystation.com, and I'm going to show you some tips and tricks with your PlayStation Vita. Try and get some more use out of it, maybe show you some things you don't know, and you can enjoy your Vita a little bit more. So check it out. You can mute your Vita instantly by holding the down and plus volume buttons at the same time, just like that. You can easily access certain settings to your Vita whenever you're doing anything such as playing a game by holding down the PlayStation button in the bottom left corner. You can change the brightness, you can change the music, you can disable the microphone, or you can prioritize your audio chat if you want to check that off. Some may not know that if you're in the live area on the PlayStation Vita, you can press the PlayStation button once to get a different interface of the current apps you have open. And if you already have one open, such as trophies, you can tap it twice, and then you're back there. This next one isn't necessarily a tip, but it's still kind of interesting. If you have a 3G PlayStation Vita and you go to Settings, and you start that up, and you scroll down to System, and you go to System Information, your PlayStation Vita actually has a phone number right here. Now, I'm not paying for a 3G plan, so it actually doesn't display a number, but if you're paying for a 3G plan, you're going to get a phone number here. And if you text it, you can actually see the text messages. If you call it, nothing's going to happen. It's just a deadline. But if you go to, where am I going? Network. If you go to Network and you go to Mobile Network Settings, and you click Notices from Operator, those text messages are going to show up here, and they're going to show the number of who it's from, and then it's going to say the message. You can't reply back or anything like that, but it's still kind of interesting. Who knows what that means. Much like the iPhone, the PS Vita also has the ability to take screenshots wherever you are, whenever you're doing anything on the system. You just got to press the Start button and the PlayStation button at the same time, and then click, and then it will start saving. One thing people seem to be having trouble with their PlayStation Vitas is trying to change the background panel on the friends list. You see I got PlayStation buttons here and like a wavy XMB. Someone's got the Earth here, there's fish there. But a lot of my friends have PlayStation Vitas, but they don't know where this setting is to change that. And I'm going to show you. For some reason, Sony decided to hide it all the way in settings, and you go to PlayStation Network, and you got to sit through please wait screens and all this BS. And then you got to go to account information, and then they make you enter in your password. And I'm going to go off screen real quick because I don't want you to see that, I have a long password, hold on. And it's going to say please wait. And then there you go. This is where you can enter in all your stuff. I don't speak those languages and I'm not rad. You click panel. And then you got a whole bunch of pretty cool options. Some are very specific, like White Knight Chronicles, but then like you go to you're looking for God of War or something and it's not in there. But there's a lot, and I'm sure they'll add more, or they'll probably sell more or whatever. If you want to move your apps around and rearrange them a little bit and have a little bit of customization, it's pretty easy. It's kind of iPhone style again. You just hold an app, then it zooms out, and then you can do whatever you want with those. And then customization-wise, you can hit this icon right here in the bottom right, and you can choose some stylized images, or you can tap that right there, and you can go to custom images like screenshots or all, and you can pick whatever you want. And it's specific to that layer, so you hit that one right there, and then this section of your Vita will be that picture. And then if you were to do it on this page with a different picture, it would be a different picture, and then you just scroll through it and do whatever you want. And you can tap on this icon right on the top right of each icon. You tap that right there, and you can look at information, or if you have an app that it's downloaded, you can choose to delete it if you hit that icon. So let's say you want to change the background image of the lock screen. Well, that's pretty simple. You just go to your photos, and you're going to want to click Photo Album. Going to want to choose whatever photo you want, like my lovely dog right here. And you just tap this bubble option right here, and then you can use it as the start screen, and it will just say please wait. I'm doing all sorts of PS Vita things. Say OK, we're done, and then we'll just check it out, and then boom, look at that. Look at my beautiful dog. Isn't that wonderful? Now, if you're interested in playing PSP games on your Vita, you'll come to find out that Sony has only posted a list of about 200 to 300 PSP games that are currently supported on the Vita. But they're only supported in a way of visiting the PlayStation Store or copying from your PS3. But there's kind of a way around this. Certain titles are supported, just in a kind of weird fashion. So if you go to your PS3, and you go to PlayStation Portable, or however you do your folders, these are already installed games, and these aren't going to show up on your PS Vita. It's not going to, when you do the content manager and you plug it into your PS3 and you try to find it, the PS Vita or the PS3 is not going to, they're just not going to talk to each other, and you're not going to find those games. So what you do is, you can delete them or do whatever you want with them, but you have to go to your download list on your PS3 and you need to re-download those games. So you go to the PlayStation Store, go to your download list, re-download all those games, but don't install them. Make sure they're all bubbles, okay? Then you go to your PS Vita and you plug it in. So then you start the content manager. Your PS3 is like, oh hey, I found a Vita. Start your content manager. Go to PS3 system to PS Vita system. Go to applications. PSP/other applications download on the PS3 system. And you'll come to find that you can actually get some of your games. Even though Sony says that, hey, we don't support these games, they actually are. Some of them actually are. Now you'll notice that I had Mod Nation Racers in bubble form up there. It wasn't installed. Didn't seem to make the cut on here, but that's alright. We still got most of our games. So if your game isn't in Sony's big list of, whatever, this is the games that we support, do this method and see if it works, because you might actually be able to get your PSP games still anyways. When you're playing a PSP game, you can hold the touchscreen anywhere to bring up some settings, like cameras, and where you want the right stick to be placed in terms of like button mapping, and you can put filters on to make your PSP games look prettier, or however you may want them to look. Basically, it's color spacing and bilinear filtering, and you just gotta play with those really in order to get any kind of desired effects with your PSP games. If you didn't already know, much like the PSP, Remote Play is also on the PS Vita, and so you can still play PlayStation 1 games from it if you need to do it, which you might actually have to do since the PlayStation Vita doesn't allow PS1 games directly on the system like the PSP did. Sony's working on this right now to make that happen, but as an alternative right now, you can use Remote Play. And if you're doing it via private network where your PS3 is like right near you or something in the same house, it's actually pretty responsive and it's not that slow. So then you can do the same thing like earlier. You can kind of hold your finger on the screen and you can get options over here like the PlayStation button. Yeah, so it works the same way. Then blah blah blah, we have all that stuff. We can quit the game. And then Sony's advertised a bunch of times with Remote Play and PS Vita that they're going to work in tandem, and some PS3 titles you'll even be able to do functionality like this, like play Killzone 3 on your Vita and stuff. And even though that isn't supported just yet, and Sony hasn't announced anything thus far, there are still some PS3 games that you can play. Like, I believe Peggle supported, Pixel Junk Eden, to name a few. I don't even know. Pixel Junk Monsters, I know that's supported for sure. Let's say we got Pixel Junk Monsters right here. Actually, let's do Eden, because Eden's one of my favorites. Hit X, and then Eden will start. And it's actually pretty responsive. It's not that bad. Not that laggy like the PSP, but, so be it if you have to do this for the time being. That's all I have for you guys in this video of tips and tricks on the PS Vita. Thanks for watching. If you have any that you might want to add, let me know. Maybe I'll do a second video down the road. I know Sony's going to add a bunch of firmware updates and stuff to the PS Vita, so I'm always going to be keeping you updated on what you can and can't do with your Vita and what you might not know. So stay tuned, and for more PlayStation news, visit allthingsplaystation.com.